Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Gilberto Silva podcast show. We are back after a break for Christmas and Year's evening party. No party this time.
No?
Very relaxed because in the moments we have to be careful, but just to be close to the family, the best way we could. Me and Tierney, we had a break, about our podcast, but now we are excited again, start a new year. This is the first podcast of the year. We have a lot of good things to talk to all of you. Thank you to join us again. Thanks, Jim, to join me again, my friend. How are you? I miss you so much in these past weeks. We haven't talked. Haven't seen you much. You didn't bother me too much. How are you?
Yeah, good man. Yeah, it's I've missed your face as well, mate. It's good to talk to someone other than my two kids and my girlfriend. But yeah, had a nice Christmas. Ate too much. I need to go on a diet as none of my clothes fit now. Probably need to go into a detox as I drank a little bit too much as well.
Don't do that while you are drunk.
Yeah, exactly. So I wasn't sober for much for Christmas. So it was good as well. Just as well, we had a break for the podcast because it would have made no sense. Yeah. But we come back to Arsenal flying.
This is great,
Maybe our podcast was bad luck.
It was not our fault because they didn't get the result. This just make it clear. We just had a break,
yeah.
But it's fantastic that they are flying.
Yeah. So, well, I think obviously the last game we talked about was pretty depressing because there was a run of 3 losses. November was really tough and October was really tough. So let's go straight into it. Obviously, the first game, which started all off, was Boxing Day against Chelsea.
Exactly.
You and I had a brief exchange via WhatsApp. You kept very humble. I was very gobby, being a bit of a Chelsea fan. You were very humble. But I won't tell them the messages that you sent me after you won.
I'm not gonna talk about what you said before, but one thing I just want to mention that you were very sad after the game about the result, but never mind. We have like a few messages afterwards. Just piss somebody else off.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He who laughs last laughs hardest. Do you know what I think?
You know why this was really good? Because before the game starts, you said something. I said, okay. I love last this time.
I said I thought it was going to be 3-0 Chelsea, didn't I? And he went, okay, yeah, we'll see. And then after time, he just sent me this laughing emoji, laughing meme.
That was good. But listen, was really important this result for us, because as you mentioned, the last November, October was very hard for everyone in the club, for the players, the manager, for the fans especially, and it's tough when you have a period like this when things does not work so well, and probably if many people would put some money or whatever, or make some funny conversation with their friend, they would not put their money on Arsenal.
I did.
Apart from me and Arsenal fans.
Apart from you guys, yeah.
But because the last games was really hard, and Chelsea were doing well. This is normal. It's a normal situation, but this is a type of game that everything can change when you get the right result, when you win the game. This kind of games, for me, show that the players show once again they are capable to change their own situation, because nobody can change their own situation when things are bad. Only themselves can go on the pitch and score the goals and make nice drills, defend properly, and create opportunities. And this game, probably many people were looking forward for another defeat of Arsenal against Chelsea, and they were impressed by the performance, by the results. Honestly, I was quite impressed. in terms of win the game 3-1, maybe 1-0, 2-1. A 3-1 was a very good result. It's normal result. It's not something, out of this world. But when you consider the situation of the both teams before these games, you have a different idea. But was important, I think, important for the players and for Arteta to relieve the pressure of him. And he got the answer of the players. This is very important. Because if the player does not answer what the manager says, what they want, and what them as the player wants for themselves in each game, nothing changed.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the Chelsea is a huge moment because I think not only in the table, but Chelsea were higher up, but Chelsea were doing quite well, looking to sort of pushing for. I think they were in second at one point, not long ago. So I think it's almost bigger than 3 points that win. It's like 4 or 5 points because it's not turned the season, but it's given them the confidence that's now gone on a run for 3 games. So I think it's more important than 3 points because Chelsea were doing well, spent a lot of money, and Arsenal were on the decline. I can't even remember how many losses they'd had in a row and bad performances. And the fans were kind of turning on them, and kind of rightfully so, saying that is Mikel Arteta the right person for the job? The players don't look like they're motivated or playing for him. And I think not only beating Chelsea 3-1, but in the manner they did, they played some really good football. And the football they played against, obviously West Brom aren't the greatest team in the world, but the football they were playing against was brilliant. And I think Brighton, they really ground the result out. It was a tougher game than the 1-0 would suggest. Brighton are a toughish team to play against. They don't really kind of let you do too much, so they had to grind the results out. So I think it's kind of everything you look for to build confidence. A tough result to grind it out. Normally maybe before the Chelsea game they would have lost that or drawn that game. So yes, I think it looks good for them, and they've got quite a fairly easy run for the time being. They're playing Newcastle, which vanilla club. They're not really playing for anything. They've got Crystal Palace, which are down there at the bottom. I think they've got a good run now of games until they play someone top. I think it's not till February that they play Leicester, which is one of the top teams.
Mm-hmm. It's very important. I think the results, 3 results, really important, and 9 points in 3 games. This
you can't ask for more than that.
What else you could expect in this sequence of games? It's important, but probably the result on West Brom and Brighton comes from the Chelsea performance. Chelsea performance give them, the confidence back, because when you are in the situation when the team does not perform well, it's tough to build up the confidence. Everything goes down. And but this time, with this result against Chelsea, great performance, the mood changed in the training ground. I've seen some pictures of them in the training center where the players were laughing, having fun. I've seen the other day, I think a video of Aubameyang and Lacazette dancing, something like this. I think this is important, despite the pressure, the war. But inside of them, there is always a critical feeling, a critical mind when things does not go well. I say, listen, it's not well. I have to change. We have to do it all together. This is what they have shown, and it's important for them to keep this momentum, because now they have to switch their minds for the FA Cup against Newcastle.
Yeah.
And
it's important.
What?
They're the holders of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
They beat Chelsea again.
Exactly. It's important for us to keep the momentum after these 3 important results and go back to a very important competition where Arsenal know very well how to play this competition, and they have done it plenty of times. Won this competition a few times. I'm fortunate enough to be part of, I think, 2 times.
Yeah, 2.
And this is very special competition. is special, very special for every player, for the fans. They are looking forward for the sequence of good results. And it's a moment for us to take, these 3 last results and move forward to put another good performance against Newcastle, because this is a different competition. You must know how to play it, because you don't have many chances. If you lose, everything's off.
Yeah, that's it. It's gone.
Yeah, it's important. But I'm really looking forward, to see the reaction after a good performance. But it's important, we're good, very good, but you have to do it again, repeat once again.
Yeah, consistency.
This is important.
Yeah, so I think obviously the standout things that have happened over these 3 games is Saka and Tierney. Oh, sorry, Saka and Tierney, not Saka. Saka and Tierney. The 2 young players, they've just been the force that have driven and dragged Arsenal through these 3 games. I mean, their performances have been consistent throughout the whole season. They now have a few more players supporting them, but the leadership, I think it is leadership. It's not necessarily, leadership isn't necessarily giving great team talks or being the captain. We've spoken about the Invincibles being pretty much everyone within the team could have been a captain and had that mentality. And I think these 2 young players are leading by example, and it's really great to see these young players coming through and giving and showing the performance they're doing and letting their play their football talk. So, for example, just to give you some stats, in the last 3 games, Saka's got 2, Tierney's got 1, and Tierney's goal was pretty spectacular against West Brom. What do you think about these 2?
Well, it's amazing. I'm particularly, I feel so happy to see the young players stand up and take the responsibility and show their leadership by the example they give on the field with their performance. Leadership is not about who talks more or who say the right things, but who does the right things, who does push the team when they need. Always work hard. It's about hard work. It's about the performance, what they leave on the field. And those 2, they have been impressive the way they have been played, with their ability, the quality, and being very important for Arsenal. And this is the spirit. And
that's a great word.
Other younger players must follow. Because listen, Saka is doing well. I want to be in the team as well, like him. It's not about age, it's about the mentality, it's about how much you want. And the performance I have seen from them, it's been amazing. I'm really enjoying see them play, their quality. I see, from this 2 from the left side, and with Tierney, it's amazing. The power, the tempo of his game, and the design is something very impressive. He showed everything. He doesn't need to speak. He speaks in his action. He doesn't need to speak to give a team talk, because his work talk to himself. I think this is the mentality. You have different type of people in the dressing room. One is more, let's say, a fun guy, but serious in what they do. Another one is serious and team talk, and very punctual in the way they say things. But you may have people who never talk, but they have to perform. They have to train hard. They have to, show to the others. They don't need to talk in words. They talk in their attitude, in their commitment to the team, with their hunger to be successful in their individual game, to perform every game better in order to get a good result for the team.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And then one other thing that's been coming through is another young player Emil Smith-Rowe. I mean, how good does this kid look?
Well, he look, a different type of player I have seen at Arsenal in the last couple of years. Um, I think I've mentioned a couple of times that Arsenal had quite similar players in the center, in the midfield, the middle, playing there in sometime like number 6, number 8, not number 10. He looks, very interesting the way the other players play. Different from Ceballos, different from Elneny, Saka. Who else could play there in the middle? Partey or any other younger player. He can be I see him as an attacking midfield.
Yeah,
this is the way I see him. Maybe he proved I'm wrong.
Yeah, well,
But let me see a little bit more, because despite the fact people get excited so quick sometimes with one performance or two, it's important the consistency of him. But also people must remember he's young. He's young.
you're getting a fine for leaving your email and your WhatsApp open.
This is a crazy message. I don't know. It's a crazy message, just automatic message. I don't know why. I'm fine. I get blame. But but people must let's say give him a time. Don't put him pressure because he's young. He's young. He needs to. People need to be patient with him. Let him do what he did in the last game, and grow up. This will be a very natural process. But it's good to see that he got ability. He did, the combination of Saka's goal in the last game against West Brom was amazing. If you see when he got the pass, the first touch, he just give the pass and turn his body and run to get the ball back and run on the side, and the pass to Saka was something incredible. The game was in his mind. He knew exactly what he wants to do, and he found a place where he wants to get the ball back. Despite the fact that he would get the ball back or not, but he was there. And one important thing in this goal, he could try to score, but he was not selfish.
Yeah.
He showed that he's a team player, because he could try, but he just gave, hey, Saka, you are there, score. Yeah. Saka just, were there to score. It's amazing. I'm happy. As I told you before, when we talk about Saka and Tierney, it's great to see that another young player perform well and show personality on the field. It's important to give them confidence for the next games, because in this marathon of plenty of games, you need everyone to be sharp, but to be ready mentally to support the pressure when they go to the field.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, the young players that are bringing Arsenal through this tough time. But then, to be fair, Lacazette, he scored 4 goals in 3 games. He's quietly going about it and leading by example. I think the difference between what Lacazette's doing and what the 2 young guys are doing is Tierney and Saka have been good all season and consistent all season and working hard all season, whereas Lacazette, it's only been the last 3 or 4 games really that he's actually started to do something for the team. But 4 goals in 3 games, as a striker, you're there to score goals, and he's scoring goals.
Yeah, no, it's important. I think, as I mentioned, it's important for Arsenal as a team keep the momentum. It's important everyone understand what Lacazette is doing. He's sharp. Feed him.
Yep.
Feed the ball to him. He's gonna, create opportunities. He's gonna score goals. He scored 4 goals. the last 3 games. You know, this is the moment where you have to use the striker, use his ability to score goals. What they need to do, just give him the ball, you know, try to find him as much as they can when they go forward, because they cannot miss the opportunity when you have your striker on fire.
Yeah,
don't lose this momentum of him, and then feed him. And one important thing I want to mention as well, you know, as we spoke about, like I said, he said that, you know, in the last couple of games, you know, I've seen a lot of criticism on Aubameyang because he hasn't scored so much as last season. But it's important that people understand that I think the importance of him for the team as well. Even though when he does not score, it's important that everyone support him. I think this is what he needs, because for every striker, it's very annoying when they don't score a goal. You know, it's harder than when you make your girlfriend angry. It's even hard to live with them.
I was going to say, you've not met my girlfriend, you have met my girlfriend. She's a yoga teacher, so she's not very angry, but
exactly. No, but I just say that because sometimes you are naughty, you know. I'm joking. No, I'm joking. But what I'm saying, you know, that in terms of it, because they get upset, you know, and their mood's not so good sometimes in the dressing room. But you know, you have to keep working. You have to keep working hard, as you have done in the past. You help Arsenal a lot of times when they need him. And now this time, Lacazette is doing what he did last season.
Yeah.
You know, this is teamwork, you know, but it's important everyone supporting him, and I'm sure he's going to go back and score again because he's an important player for the team.
Yeah. Exactly. No, I think it's all looking really good. And so the last 3 games, 8 goals scored, 1 goal conceded. So again, one of the problems was the defence. It looks like the defensive problems have been solved. But again, there's only one tough game in there really, which was Chelsea, and they conceded the only goal they have in 3 games. So when you think of the firepower that Chelsea have and the players they have, only conceding 1 goal to them when they were going through a tough period is a pretty good result. So it's the ratio you want: 8 goals scored and 1 goal conceded. Goal difference of +7 is what all you can ask for, really.
That's great. It's great, you know. They won their games, 9 points, and they score, you know, good numbers of goals. But another important aspect, you know, don't concede goals, you know, because if you concede so many goals, the chance to win the games is less. And it's important that they score the goals, but important as well, at the back they were solid. I think this is important. It's like we mentioned before, sometimes when things are not going well, you have to start to build up from the back, you know, being solid at the back, don't concede goals. At some point, you are going to find your chance. At some time, you just need one chance to win the game. And for us, before this game against Chelsea, because they had bad results, it's not about the performance they need, not good performance, about win their games. They did very well against Chelsea, and then Brighton, West Brom. It's important, you know, when you see these pictures, see that they score goals, win their games, but solid at the back, you know, don't concede goals. It's important for their continuation, you know, the remaining season. If they can be very solid at the back, this is going to be very important for them to have more points. And you never know, my friend. Everything is crazy in this competition. We see Liverpool drop points. We see Manchester United were in the middle of the table. And now they are at the top of the table with Liverpool.
Yeah.
think is can change. I'm not. I don't mean. I'm not saying that Arsenal are going to win the next. I don't know, 10 games, be the first, so be fighting for the top four. But it's about them to do their job.
Yeah, I completely agree. And lastly, something we haven't been able to do for a few weeks, we didn't think it was appropriate while Arsenal weren't doing great, was your player of the week.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm guessing Saka, 2 goals, 3 games, midfielder.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I totally agree, my friends.
Brilliant. Okay, so Saka wins it for the second time. So congratulations. There's another shit trophy coming its way to you, Saka.
Great. Oh, fantastic. Oh, before we leave, I was quite short, but very sharp. Always great.
It was positive, though. The last is a positive podcast about Arsenal.
Yeah. But I have a great news for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Also for True Challenge.
Oh, shit.
This time, last year before we finished the year, I set up a challenge to myself to start this year running properly. I'm running on business. I'm running here with podcasts, but running properly, because this has been quite annoying for me, the last couple of years, doing some exercise and so on. But I set up a target for me to start the year running. I'm very happy that I have achieved that, and not day one of the year, because, I said, no, not today, but from the second day of the year, I start running. The knee is doing great. Brilliant. What does that mean for True Challenge is that I'll be able to do some challenge, maybe some crossbar or something else.
Nice.
Something.
That sounds good. I'm glad to see your knees doing better. So you're able to run on it now, are you?
Yeah. I've been running now 3 days in a row. I'll try. I hope I can make it. But this is, I put a target for me in my mind to try to do at least 20 minutes every day in this year.
What's that done to you? Because obviously, I know you've suffered with your knee for a long time, because that's pretty much what ended your career. Do you find that, obviously, from playing football for so many years, do you feel much better for setting yourself this challenge and being able to do it? Has that sort of helped your mindset, your mentality?
Well, not really sure, honestly.
It's too short. 3 days.
Because my situation's been quite tough, I didn't challenge myself in terms of I have to do it, otherwise, it'll be worse, it'll be a nightmare. I didn't put pressure on myself, because I know exactly what I have been through in terms of feeling well with my knee, with the problems I've got in the past. But as like in September, I did another surgery in the other knee, in the left knee, to correct something. I was just doing the rehabilitation. But a few weeks ago, I said to myself and to my wife, we start the next year running. I'll start next year running. I put this in my mind, and I could not think differently. But because I said, I need to test my knee. And thanks God, everything went well. And 3 days in a row, today again, I had to do at least 20 minutes. Maybe at some point when we are able to, I can make some, I don't know, not a marathon, half marathon, 10 minutes marathon, something like that.
Nice. That's good news, man. Please.
Yeah.
Do cross my fat ass running as well.
Yeah. I need to get rid of a lot of food I had been using.
Nice.
My friend, once again, it's great to talk to you. People can find us in every platform, such as Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram.
Oh, you've got a new Instagram account, haven't you? You've got you set up an Instagram account for your podcast. So a load of clips from me and him talking is going to be on the Instagram podcast, and it's the Invisible Wall podcast. The Invisible Wall show. Search for that on Instagram, and you'll see all the clips. from us.
Yeah, two beautiful guys.
Two handsome. I don't know how shiny the top of my head is.
Hey, my friend. So thank you so much once again. I wish you a great year for all of our followers. Thank you very much to stay with us last year and from this new year starting. I wish you all the best for you and your families, and wish that everyone will be safe. And it's been a challenge once again, but let's be positive again. Let's be positive. One helping each other, and I'm sure we will support this tough time with pandemic. And let's be positive again. And good thing, football is back. I've seen the fans were back. Let's see now, especially in the UK, if they will be able to continue to go to the stadiums. I hope so. They do. And all the best, everyone. This is our first of the year, first podcast of the year. I'm sure we'll have some good episodes.
Let's hope there's another podcast. Now we're back in the flow of the podcast for the year. Hopefully there's another positive one next week.
Yeah. Great.
Cheers, man.
Bye-bye. Ciao, everyone.